Hello everyone, welcome back to the second channel. As always, I have a lot of topics that I want to go over today. The video will be timestamped if you would like to skip around. This is just my opinion on everything that I am going over today. And let's get into it. The first thing that I wanted to talk about today, Mariah Carey was inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame, which is a huge deal. I did make a post on my community tab the day after it happened. I also did talk about it in the latest video that I just posted, the revisit with me on Mariah Carey's Butterfly album and everything. But I definitely wanted to take a second to talk about it here because this is a huge moment. As I said before, Mariah often does not get the credit that she deserves as a songwriter, so it's really nice to get to see her have some recognition. I thought that she looked stunning. I appreciated her little speech there, and there were some tributes that happened that I did want to talk about. So Leah Montesteguro, I believe that's how you say her name, and she's very young. She's a super skilled singer, and I remember seeing clips of her singing One Sweet Day and everyone just like marveling at how talented she was, right? And so she did a few of her songs. I don't think the full performances of any of them have been released. I just saw like little clips on Twitter. She did My All, which I thought that she sounded stunning on. She also did Mariah's part in the Big Energy remix, which is interesting to listen to as well. So I just found out that she also did We Belong Together and All I Want for Christmas Is You, and she sounded phenomenal on those. And then she also did One Sweet Day with, I believe that was Wanya Morris from Boyz II Men. He just kept trying to outdo her vocally, and it's just like, let her do her thing, let her shine. I just did not like what he added to that, and that's like my opinions there, but Leah Monty absolutely killed it. And so that's definitely something that I wanted to state there. And then people were talking about it on Twitter, and she said that Mariah actually gave her blessing to the performance, something around there, which I thought was nice. And yeah, just what a talented singer, excited to see what she does. I feel like she can go very far. And this is what happens when you study Mariah Carey, one of the best vocalists of all time. Like, she's just phenomenal, so definitely shout out to her. I slander One Sweet Day, and that's partially just because I'm tired of hearing the song. It's one of those songs that kind of like, you listen to it a few times, and it's like, I've kind of gotten everything that I need to out of the song. I think just because it's like a big ballad and everything, for example. But it's just like, I do not care for Boyz II Men, and the reason why is because they're terrible people. Like, I don't remember who said what about Mariah, but at least one or two of them said that she couldn't sing anymore, something like that, and that definitely does not sit right with my spirit at all. And from like what I've heard, they're just not the best people to work with either, so I just do not care for Boyz II Men, and that's half the reason why I just don't listen to One Sweet Day. The next thing that I wanted to talk about is the BET Awards. So I didn't watch it, I just happened to be scrolling through Twitter, right? And then people said that Mariah was performing, and I actually finally got to see the whole clip of it. And what's really cool about it is that Lotto was doing the Big Energy remix, right? And then she has that line, "You won't believe this got Mimi on the remix," right? And then she gestures over, and then there's Mariah, and then you see her silhouette, and then it's the butterflies, and they fly away, and then she just hits this amazing whistle note, so clear, so resonant in terms of the whistles, and just overall, like, she absolutely did what she had to do, and she just sounded amazing. So it was really cool to get to see that as well. And everyone was cheering her on, and yeah, definitely unexpected, but something cool. And this is the first time Mariah has performed live in a few years, and hopefully after this performance and how well it was received, she wants to go tour again, because I have to see her tour. I didn't get into her until the pandemic, and so like, I have to see her. She's my favorite artist ever. Something else that I thought was cool is how Lotto literally gave her flowers at the end, like a bouquet of flowers. I thought that that was really special. As I said before, my opinions on the Big Energy song are virtually still the same. Mariah did exactly what she had to do there. Lotto, not the biggest fan of her as an artist. I will say I have seen more clips of her rapping since they talked about her initially, and I do think that there's some talent there. I think that there's some skill there, so I would definitely give her credit there. Her music just is personally not for me. I can say that the Big Energy song is catchy for sure. I can understand why people enjoy it. I personally prefer Fantasy, but I really did enjoy the performance. I like how they played off of each other. I thought it was really fun to watch, so definitely check that out if you have not already. She just sounded impeccable. Literally a living legend, and you just don't see stuff like this happening with less and less notable people going to the award show, so I just really appreciate that she gave us a moment. The outfit was beautiful. We really do love to see it. Also, you could see Brandy vibing out during her performance as well, and Brandy having her own kind of energy, and to see people cheering on for Mariah and just seeing all the praise for her on Twitter, like, that was just delightful. And so that was really nice to see. It's so interesting seeing people switch up, like they never said anything about her. Like, you're seeing people praise her for this performance, but then you go back and look at their tweets, and 2 weeks ago they were saying she couldn't sing. It's like, we've been telling you Mariah can still sing. How many times does she have to keep proving herself that she can sing? Obviously she can't sing the way that she used to. Her voice has changed, she's gotten older, but what she can still do is very impressive. She can sing a lot of your faves under the table, and so it just really frustrates me to see people disrespect Mariah, because a lot of people, they're gonna keep disrespecting Mariah until she passes away, and then they're gonna be like, oh, I didn't give her the respect that she deserves, when you could just do it now instead of being so ignorant. Because a lot of your faves, like, they can't even sing as well as she does, like, over 30 years into her career, and it just really irritates me whenever people love to hate on Mariah whenever it's convenient, and then whenever she's getting praised, they want to praise her. After the whole New Year's thing, a lot of people hated on her, said she couldn't sing anymore, and that wasn't even her fault, by the way. She literally could not hear herself, and she tried every single way that she could to hear herself, and she literally could not hear herself. And as people say, when you're in like Times Square and you're doing that big of a performance and you literally can't hear yourself, like, yeah, it's going to be difficult to do that. A lot of other musicians have had that happen to them too. And not even to mention, that performance was not even that bad. Was it her best performance ever? Obviously not. But if you compare that performance to your fave's worst performance, I can guarantee you hers was 10 times better. I just hate whenever people do that with artists in general. Like, if you love the artist, you love the artist. If you don't, you don't. It's one thing if you love the artist, maybe they didn't release a song you like and you're like, oh, I didn't particularly care for the song, right? That's different. I'm talking about really hating someone, going in on them, saying all these negative things about them, and then whenever the tide shifts on them, you're like, oh, I love them so much. But then whenever we pull up your past tweets, you're talking about how they weren't talented, how they lost their voice. Like, I hate when people do that. And so many people have done that to Mariah, and that just really, really gets on my nerves. Like, if you're not rocking with Mariah, then you're not rocking with Mariah. That is what it is. And like, be consistent like that. I hate whenever people switch up like that and they just like follow the herd mentality. It's like you don't even have your own opinion. You're just going with whatever everyone else is saying at the moment. Also, something about the BET Awards. Apparently Mariah doesn't have one. Why doesn't she have one? That really does not sit right with me. Also, I don't really care for them as an organization because of their homophobia and stuff like that. I definitely think that they should be held accountable for that. Especially the fact that they had like an in memoriam segment to Kevin Samuels. That's what I heard anyways. And from what I hear, he was just not a good guy and he was constantly like degrading black women and just like him as a person, do not care for him at all. And I didn't even hear about him until I heard people that I really like talking out about him and saying how horrible he was. So yeah, I definitely don't like that at all. There's definitely problems with them as an organization, and I definitely did want to take that. And then of course, Runaway and Always Be My Baby, the Awesome Mules remix, are on streaming, so that was also cool as well. And then the last thing about Mariah is I did have a Mariah tweet that gained a little bit of traction. So basically there was this tweet and it was like, oh, share your music on popular opinions. And then I shared my Mariah Carey is the best singer-songwriter of all time. And then that gained some traction, which was nice. I already felt like that was going to do something, so I kind of like linked my channel down below and everything. And like I said before, you can follow me on Twitter if you want. I'm trying to be more active on there. I tweet pretty much every day. I'm always tweeting out songs I really like. I do the Wordles. Mariah Carey has a hurdle, and if you don't know what that is, it's basically like they have her entire discography, right? And they pick a random song every single day, and you want to see how soon that you can guess it. So most of her songs I've been able to guess in the first second, which is impressive. But yeah, something I play every day, so you can definitely follow me on Twitter. Next thing that I want to talk about, Beyoncé is finally back. I'm so excited for this new album, Renaissance. Like, it's just going to be such a cultural reset. We already have Break My Soul, which I did enjoy, and I definitely think that that song is a grow. I remember liking it on the first listen, but I knew that it was going to grow on me more, and it definitely has. And I've noticed that my timing has been really good in these things, like filming that Destiny's Child video, for example, and that was on the same day that she announced the album was coming out. So I think that that's cool. I really like little coincidences like that, and so I just edited that little part in right at the end, and then the video came out the very next day and everything. With a new album announcement and everything, Beyoncé has released like these little boxes, so it has a t-shirt, the CD, I believe. It might have like a few other things in it, and they're like mystery boxes. You don't know what everything's going to look like until you get it, obviously, which I think is kind of interesting, right? And so she did 4 different ones, and so the ones that I got 1 and 3. Should have got 4 because, as people have stated, 4 is her favorite number, and I believe I was gonna get it, but I think something happened, so I just ended up getting the first one, and then I was like, well, I might as well get another one because I'll probably like one of these more than the other, so at least I have 2 options there. So those are the ones that I personally got. And then there's a Renaissance vinyl that has been announced, so I definitely had to cop that as well. Something special about the vinyl also is that it's an alternate cover, so I'm really excited for that. But I'd love to know if you guys bought one of those boxes or a vinyl or a CD or anything, or if you're abstaining for that because you want to go to her tour. Let me know down below in the comments and everything. Beyoncé has very decent prices. That's why it really shocks me when people who are like 20 years younger than her and have like mid-level careers are charging like way more than she does for like t-shirts. Like, all of her stuff is reasonably priced, and I really, really respect that. Like, Beyoncé knows people are putting their hard-earned money towards this, and she always delivers with the quality. So I'm very, very excited for this. And this is like the first Beyoncé album that I'm really consciously like excited for. Like, I remember listening to her albums in the past and enjoying them, but like I haven't had this level of excitement. Like, I was more so of a casual fan. Now getting into her entire discography, really listening to everything, I'm just like super, super excited because she hasn't released a solo album in such a long time. I'm like, no, like I have to get on all of this. And you know, hopefully she'll be announcing a tour soon. I really love to go see it with my sister and get some good seats because I know that Beyoncé puts on an amazing show. Hopefully that can come to fruition for sure, but I'm just very excited for this era. Like, she's giving us an actual rollout. I actually really like that because at first I thought she was just going to surprise drop the album again, which she has been known to do before, and I was going to do a little reaction to it, but I like that I actually have something to look forward to. That's the reason why I don't listen to leaks. Like, if I'm really excited for an album, why would I listen to it if I know it's going to be out in a month? Yeah, I'm going to have to wait, but the payoff is going to be that much bigger because, again, it's giving me something to look forward to. I'm going to be able to share my thoughts with you guys on here, talk about it on social media and stuff like that. And when you listen to it beforehand, like, the hype's basically dead because you already listened to it, you already enjoy it, you already have access to it before everyone else does. So I'm actually really excited that we have an entire rollout, and I wanted to talk really quickly about what I wanted to see in this album from her. I'm pretty sure that there's like 16 songs on this, and and everyone was discussing features. I asked everyone on my community tab who they wanted to see in terms of the features. As I said before, I would love to see Mariah and also Rihanna in terms of features on this album. And it's really shocking to me that Beyonce and Rihanna still don't have a song together. Like, that doesn't really sit right with me, so they definitely need to do a collaboration in my personal opinion. I'd love to see Rihanna make a little return to music, so we will have to see what happens. She just had the kid and everything, and also she hasn't released music in years, so I'm not going to get my hopes up too much, but I really love to see that. And with Mariah, I just think that they would sound phenomenal on a track together, so those are collaborations that I really want to see happen. Some people were saying Chloe and Halle would be a nice addition. I could definitely see that, or like Doja Cat. People said Blue Ivy might be on it. I could definitely see that as well. So these are collaborations that I could see happening that I would personally really enjoy, right? One of my subscribers was saying that they don't really see any collaborations happening on this album, and I personally do not mind that. As I said before, some of my favorite albums ever have 0 collaborations on them. Inevitably, it's going to age better over time, so I really would not mind if there's no collaborations on this album at all. I just wanted to have the collaborations that I want, or no collaborations at all, like no middle ground at all. And that's kind of how I'm feeling in terms of collaborations. So what I want this album to sound like, what am I picturing? When you have a title like Renaissance, I'm expecting an amazing album cover. Beyonce always delivers on her visuals, so I really don't think she's going to let us down there. Really excited to see the music videos that she will drop for this era. Like, just really intrigued to see what she's going to do visually. But I'm expecting like an amazing album cover, and so I'm really excited to see the reveal for that personally. And then in terms of like the sound of the album, I know that this is going to be a dance album, which I am all for. I really love Beyonce's up-tempo tracks. I wouldn't mind a few ballads here and there. That would be cool because Beyonce is an amazing vocalist, so that would definitely be interesting to listen to there. But if there's going to be ballads, just have like 2 or 3. Like, don't overload the track list in my personal opinion. Maybe a nice mid-tempo here or there. That would definitely be something nice to listen to. I just expect this to be a fun album. From what I've read in terms of this being a dance album, I'm not expecting it to be very lyrically dense. Like, I'm not expecting a whole lot in terms of lyrics, which is fine. I'm just expecting for Beyonce to give us what she always does in terms of lyrics, which is just themes of empowerment, something uplifting to listen to, something fun to listen to, something that is very memorable. So that's kind of what I'm expecting in terms of lyrics and everything. And yeah, I'm really excited to see what she does with this album. Those are like a few predictions that I did want to throw out there. I don't want to throw out too much because I could potentially be wrong. Beyonce has given us surprise after surprise after surprise. That's kind of generally what I would like to see, and I'm very excited for this album. Next thing I wanted to talk about really quickly, I did watch a new season of Grace and Frankie. I can enjoy it for what it was. I will say, is it unfortunate how it kind of ended? Sure, but I mean, I thought it was still funny. A lot of shows, when they get to the last season, you're like, oh, turn this off, like it's not even funny anymore, it's not even worth watching. But I could definitely appreciate it for what it was. If you're looking for a show to watch on Netflix, you should definitely check this one out. Great show in my personal opinion, so I definitely did enjoy that. Something fun to watch. Next thing that I wanted to talk about is Grey's Anatomy. So I actually watched the last episodes a few weeks ago, and I completely forgot what happened until I started thinking about, let's dissect it through characters and see if I can remember it that way. And so I was able to do so. So basically what happened in the last few episodes is that Owen is literally giving these drugs to soldiers to help them pass away, just because they're in so much pain from medical conditions through war and everything. He's just trying to help them, like assisted suicide type situation, right? He helps one soldier, that soldier spreads the word. This one person comes to them, wants to help. He's like, no, I can't necessarily do it. And then he tells his wife, and then she's like, yeah, we can't do it. And they try to find a way to like help him do it, and then he just like wasn't accepting it. He's like, I'm gonna tell on you if you don't help me. And then it's almost like they thought he was bluffing, because then they didn't help him, and then boom, he told. And then they quit their job at the hospital, and now they're going off somewhere with their kids. So that will definitely be interesting to see what happens there. I will say residency program has been shut down, which is unfortunate. They all have to pack up their bags and go. Bailey's devastated, and now she's quitting her job. Basically, she said, Meredith, you're in charge of this since you wanted to ruin everything. Like I said, I don't necessarily understand why they blame her for ruining everything. She's not the one who started the Weber method, so I think that that's kind of stupid. And basically everything I said in terms of like how I feel about everyone's relationship applies. Meredith and the transplant surgeon, again, you already know what I'm going to say about that.
I also forgot to add that Winston and Maggie realize that they've been scanned by Winston's brother.
Kai and Amelia break up, and then Kai's like, oh my gosh, like I couldn't stop thinking about Amelia. So then they get back together. We already know how I feel about that relationship. So it's kind of like dud after dud after dud. The thing that annoyed me about the end of this season is, why did they wait until the very end to get interesting? Like this season, we have filler episode after filler episode, and so many boring things that I had to sit through. So many times I had to cringe and be like, why am I even watching this right now? And then at the end, it finally wants to get interesting in terms of like the plot devices, in terms of what we were expecting. And now I have to wait till September, where it's inevitably going to be boring and how they wrap everything up, have a bunch of filler episodes, and then rinse and repeat. Like this show, it's gone so bad, as I said once again, and it's just really disheartening to watch, because it's like I want to enjoy it, but they're making it hard for me, and it's just like, like I said before, I really missed whenever this show was good. Also, Sarah June and Jesse Williams came back to the show. Like I said, I don't really care for Jesse. His character on the show got so annoying after a certain point. Don't necessarily care for him as a person either. So that was definitely boring to watch. And Sarah, I mean, she's really nice for coming back to the show because they literally fired her. And I still do not get to this day why they fired her. I think it's so messed up to fire her and then you keep asking her to come back. Maybe you shouldn't have fired her in the first place. You literally fired her to bring in characters who have no depth, no personality. You're not invested in them. Like Schmidt, why do we keep trying to make his character happen? Helm, they basically gave up on character development. Like, there's no character in Helm. Like, it's so boring. That's a recap for now. We will see what happens whenever the show comes back, like September. I forgot to talk about this in my last video, so I did leave a pinned comment about the Met Gala, but just again saying, so ridiculously boring. I don't get how these celebrities have millions and millions of dollars and they still can't dress. And it really irritates me whenever we see their looks on Twitter, we give her 2 cents and everyone's like, oh, well, why are you saying this, blah, 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 you're not on the carpet and blah, blah, blah. I don't have millions of dollars to go to the Met Gala. Like, you have all the resources at your disposal and you're still giving me boring outfit after boring outfit, not following the theme, having the most tame outfits of all time. Like, all these outfits, like, it was just so ridiculously boring to me, and I forgot it was even happening again because, as people have stated, it literally happened in September of last year, I believe, and then it happened in May of this year, which is when it's usually supposed to happen. It just got delayed because of COVID and everything, but yeah, boring once again. I really don't have that much of a comment on it, and so that's something I wanted to state there. Now it's time to recap all the videos I did in May on my main channel and Stage 25. So the first video that I did was me reacting to Brandy's debut album. This took me around 3 hours, 57 minutes, and 32 seconds to edit. So I tried to react to this other album, but it just wasn't really giving that much for me. It was like, okay, but like I said before, if I'm going to upload an album reaction, I have to actually really, really enjoy listening to the album because it takes me hours to edit these kinds of videos, and I just want to make it worth my while, and I feel like my enjoyment really can make or break a video, and I just don't really want to upload something that I'm not like really, really interested in, you know? And so I kind of just switched over to this, and I ended up really enjoying myself. I think it's a great debut album, so this video was definitely fun to do. My third edit is the one that made the cut. I got copyrighted a few times for the baby song particularly. I think there was another one as well. And I remember I tried to get this uploaded as soon as I could because I'm pretty sure the video I did before this was my hairstyles video whenever I talked about his first album. That video did so poorly. And as I said before on the YouTube studio, they show you like your last 10 videos, how they performed in comparison to each other. And I'm pretty sure that video was like 10 out of 10, which means it performed very badly. And so I just didn't want to see that in my YouTube studio anymore. And I just wanted to have something new that you guys would enjoy. And so I worked hard to get that video out as soon as I possibly could. And something that I did want to clarify, I believe I've explained this before, but I wanted to explain it again. Whenever I said like, oh, my third edit made it or whatever, as I said, my process for editing videos goes like this. I filmed the video, right? I have the raw footage from that. I put that onto my computer in Final Cut Pro. I edit that. I add pictures. I do whatever I need to do, right? So I just go through, I edit it the first time through, make sure I have like the gist of what I try to do, right? And then I go through, I basically rewatch the video, and this is my second edit, and I'm just making sure that I didn't mess anything up the first time, like I didn't leave in a certain part in twice, or I didn't forget to add in a picture, or just like little stuff like that. And if I did, I'll tweak it to my desire, basically. And I should do a third edit just because even though the second edit, a lot of times, like, it's fine, I didn't mess anything up after I watched the second edit, I'm usually good. There have been times where that's happened, and it's just taken me more time than if I would have just went through and done another edit, you know? But basically, I only do 2 real edits of most of my videos. As I said before, I have to export these on Final Cut Pro, and then I have to go and save to get an iMovie, because if I upload it from my iPad, it will not upload. Like, I've tried it before, it just is funky with that. So I don't know why it works that way, but that's what I have to do. If I upload it from my computer, it can literally take 3 hours to upload a video. It's just not efficient for time's sake, just because, for example, like, for reactions, I get copyright claims on them all the time. And as I said before, my videos can get blocked, no one can see them, I don't get recommended in the algorithm, and like little things like that. And that's why I have to go out of my way to edit out parts to where I don't have copyright claims on them, right? So yeah, that can be a time-consuming process to do depending on how many songs I get copyrighted on and stuff like that. I also might find a mistake that I want to edit out. This has happened to me a few times before. So that's definitely something I want to say. But if it's taking me 3 hours to edit one video, and then I wait, and then boom, I get claimed, and then I have to edit, like, it's just way more time consuming. That's why I send everything over to my iPad. It does not take nearly as long to upload. If there's an issue, I can fix it, and then I just keep doing it until there's no claims on it or whatever. Like I said, for example, I got copyrighted on the baby song, right? And so basically, let's say that song starts at like 3:57 and it goes to like 5:32 on the video. So it'll be like, oh, this was copyright claimed. So basically what I have to go do is I go back into the program and I edit that specific song. Like I'll take out like a little snippet here or there, and I think that it should run fine. And I just try to have like the necessary elements of the song, what parts of the song did I enjoy most, what parts of the song like make the most sense. And sometimes I have to take out parts because I'll take out one part, and then if you take it out, the next part doesn't make sense in context of that. So that's kind of how I do it. So I'll go back and just edit that specific part. I'm not going back and looking through the entire video again because that's not necessary. I've already done that the first and second time, so that would just be way too time consuming. So I don't do it that way. I just go back and look at the part that was affected there, and then I will go and do that. And so that's my explanation there for if I say, oh, my third edit is the one that made the cut. If I was actually going back through and making like a third actual edit and like really watching everything and being diligent, it would just take way longer for me to get the video out to you guys, and it's just way more time consuming. And so I don't do it that way. And so I definitely wanted to specify, because I was talking to my family about this earlier about one of my other videos that I did recently, and they thought that I actually like went through and did all of that like multiple times, and I'm like, no, that's not the way that I actually do it. And I'm pretty sure that I have explained this before, but I definitely did want to explain it again for clarification's sake. Next video that I did is whenever I reacted to This Love, Taylor's version by Taylor Swift, and this took me around 26 minutes and 55 seconds to edit. I had another video I was supposed to do. I just finished writing it the night before. I got everything sorted out in terms of like the information that I needed, and I was ready to film it that day. Taylor came up and I was like, let me do this because I know people will be interested in it. I love Taylor's music and I do want to hear it and everything, and it won't take as long to edit as the other video will. So I was like, let me do this right now and then I'll do the other video later. So it kind of ended up working out for me. After I did that video, I went on Reddit just to see what other people were thinking about the song, see if anyone agreed with me, and people finally put into words how I felt about the song. The reason why I like the original more is because it's like more drowned in terms of like the production. Like her voice is there, but it's kind of like more so dreamy, and it's like drowned in the production, not in a bad way. You can still hear her clearly, but I just really like that element about it. And her vocals are too high in the mix in this new version, and whenever they explain it that way, I'm like, that's why I like the older version better, because like vocally the new version definitely is better. I think the old version is just personally my preference, but I'll definitely get used to the new version, I will say. But it's always really nice to see people explain exactly what you're trying to say, because I knew something was off about it, but I couldn't tell exactly what it was. So I definitely did want to say that as well. The next video I did was on this channel. It was me talking about Mariah Carey's masterclass, opinions on Coachella, Grey's Anatomy, and more. And this video was so much work to edit. As I said before, a lot of times for these videos, I'm recording like an hour and a half of footage. So it's a lot just to comb through everything. I have to add in pictures. I do voiceovers. Like that just takes me a lot of time to go through and get everything how I want it and everything. And so I had all these clips I wanted to add in, and often I alternated between the first take and like a few clips. Normally for these videos, I don't do 2 takes because I'm talking for so long, my voice is basically shot. So I'm not going to do an entire other take. I'm like, hopefully I got it right the first time. If not, I'll just add in a voiceover or something. So that's kind of how I generally feel about these videos. But I'll record a clip or something that I wanted to add. I'm like, oh, I forgot to say this, so I'll add in a little clip that I recorded, for example. I saw I forgot to add in the part about no reactions to Plan B and sidelines, and then it took me forever to get this voiceover right. I hate doing voiceovers just because like it's just so irritating to do, because it takes me multiple takes to get it how I want to say it, and like I'll be recording one and then I'll forget what I was supposed to say, or I'll record one and I'm like, oh, I forgot to say this, so then I just often re-record the entire thing over. So I just hate doing the voiceovers and everything, and so much pictures to add. Final Cut Pro was difficult because like there's basically this trimming tool that you have, and I feel like if you're not an editor, you won't really understand what I'm saying. I will try to explain it to the best of my ability. So basically there's this tool, like let's say that this is the tool, right? And it can be kind of choppy. So imagine the clip is 5 seconds, but I want it to be 4 seconds. Like I can just have it like that, like automatically everything can line up, like the picture will line exactly with where that clip starts. And that's how I like to edit most of my videos. It's just easier that way. Or it's like kind of like this sliding motion, and it's like it's not as harsh, but you can't get it the same. Like it's harder for me to line up the pictures and stuff. And especially whenever I'm editing like a music video on top of that, I hate whenever it messes up, because I like to have it that one way where it's like 5 seconds to 4 seconds, for example. Like it's just easier to edit. And so whenever like the tool messes up, I do not know how to fix it. Like I've done so many videos and I thought that I'd figure out a way to fix it. I don't know how to fix it. I try to look it up. I can't find a way to fix it. And I think I might have found like a similar enough tool to kind of fix it if I like zoom in enough on the timeline and just really go, but it's annoying to do that, so I try not to do that. But it's just kind of like irritating to deal with in that. And sometimes like I'm editing a video, it has a tool that I want, and then it messes it up, and then it takes me like forever to figure out how to get it back. So that was just like really annoying, especially like I said, whenever I have the pictures, I'm trying to line up everything exactly, and I want everything to fade away at the correct time. I don't want one picture to fade away before another. If I had like 2 things on the screen at the same time, like if I'm talking about hairstyles, for example, I want them to be up at the same time for the duration I'm talking, and then cut them off. So like the clean transitions there. And it's just really frustrating to deal with like that little tool there. And this is something I've been meaning to talk about forever in the videos, and it finally came up. So I definitely did want to share that as well. And then I remember stuff that I forgot to add, so I was like, I'll just do a pin comment and do it later. I believe I've said this in a video, but once I get get to a certain point in editing a video, like if I'm taking up to 5 hours to do it, I just get so fed up with the video. Like I don't want to edit it anymore. I just want to be done. Like if I forgot something, I forgot something. Like I'm just gonna have to move on, and I just want to do the next one because it just gets so irritating to deal with having to watch it over and over and over again. Like it just gets so exhausting to deal with. And so yeah, I kind of just got to that point with this video particularly, I remember. And that's what always happens with a lot of these second channel videos, because there's always so many pictures to add and voiceovers and all this stuff, and it just takes me time to edit. And I saw this one thing, and it was like, normally a video takes like 3 times the amount to edit as it took to film. So this video could probably be like an hour. So on minimum, it should take me, what, 3 hours to edit that video? And that's a lot of time. And then I have to do everything for uploading it and making sure that everything's right to where you guys can see it. And hopefully I didn't mess anything up on all my videos. And I watch it multiple times just to make sure that everything's good. So like a lot can go into these videos, but I just remember there was so much I was trying to get right in terms of like the visual aspect. And so yeah, this video was a doozy to do. I'm glad it's finally done. Next video that I did was me sharing my thoughts on Ariana Grande's Sweetener album. This took me around 2 hours and 16 minutes to edit. This was a whole mess to do because I did 2 takes of it. I did 1 full take, and then the second one I got interrupted, and then I had to take a break, and then I came back and then I finished the second take. It's a mix of the first and second take that I did for the video. So most of it is the second take, and then there's like a part or 2 from the first take. And then I had to go back and edit in the part where I talked about Sweetener the song because I forgot it the first time. And I believe I messed up the edit a few times, so I had to go back and fix it. And so that's like a whole thing to deal with. And I was just up for a bit because I had to fix it and just make sure that everything was right. And I hate when this happens because it's just so irritating to deal with. And this video got delayed so many times. So originally I wanted to do this video whenever I ranked the songs on Mariah Carey's album equals MC Squared, right? And I just don't think I was ready to do the video. I think I just needed more time to like write out my thoughts on the album. Because some albums, for example, I listen to them, they give me so much in terms of lyrical content, in terms of feeling, in terms of production, that the videos practically write themselves. Like they're very easy to do. Some albums are harder to do just because they don't have as much for me to dig into on that side. So I'm more so having to talk about how I feel about the songs, and I'm trying to extract as much information as I can. So some videos are more hard for me to write than others. And so that's why that video did not happen that week. I just thought that I wasn't ready. And then I was supposed to do it with the Glitter album. Again, I was not ready for it then because I took a break from the album and I was supposed to start listening to it again, because as I've stated, if I'm going to make a video on an album, I like to listen to the album for like a week or 2 just so I make sure that I have enough notes to really get everything right, and I've said everything that I wanted to say about the album. I didn't miss anything. I was like thorough enough. And so yeah, it didn't happen because I wasn't able to like really listen to it. Other stuff that I was listening to more at the time. And then it was supposed to happen with the Taylor video, and then it didn't happen because Taylor came up, and then it finally happened. So I'm just glad to have that video out. And the reason I wanted to do that video is because it was May. Harry's house was coming out. As we know, he has everything upside down on the cover. Ariana's cover is upside down, and the color palette is similar enough, so I kind of wanted to have this as a video for me. I thought that it'd be really fun. And so yeah, generally I liked that video. Next video that I did was me reacting to the new Florence and the Machine album, Dance Fever. This took me around 3 hours and 23 minutes to edit. And I did film an entire other reaction. Actually, I thought that it was alright, but it didn't excite me enough to edit it, so I was like, I'm just not going to post this video. And then I was like, let me listen to the new Florence and the Machine album, because I really thought about listening to it. I never listened to them before. I thought that would be an interesting video to do. And so that's when I went and I listened to the album. I was up until like 7 a.m. working on this thing. Like I said, I filmed the whole other reaction on top of that, which already took me like an hour to 2 hours, something around that range. So you already had to do all that and then taking a break and then coming back to this. So that's kind of why I was up so late doing this video, mind you. Something really frustrating about this video, YouTube kept turning off the comments on it. Like it was really irritating to deal with. I'm pretty sure I saw it whenever I first posted the video. I was like, okay, let me go back and fix it. I went to bed and then I woke up and I was like, why aren't there any comments on this? Some videos get more comments than others, but I thought that there would be at least 1 or 2, and then I saw that it turned off the comments again. And it was just a constant cycle of doing it, and I tried my best to fix it. And then I thought that they were back on. A subscriber told me, they're like, hey, they turned off the comments again. So I was like, this is just really irritating. So then I went back and then I thought that they were good again, and they seemed to be fine, and then they turned them off again. And then I made a tweet and I was like, YouTube keeps turning off my comments on this Florence and the Machine video. And then they replied and they were like, oh, let us fix it, like send us a URL. So then I did, and I think like a day or 2 later, like it finally fixed it. So yeah, that was really irritating to deal with. I've never had that happen on a video before. I don't know why it kept doing it. Like it was just really irritating to deal with, but it is what it is. But that video definitely got more views than I expected. It has over 1,000 views, which is nice. So I'm very happy about that video. A successful video for me, like how it turned out and everything. I also forgot to say that my second edit of this video is the one that made the cut. Next video that I did was my revisit with me on the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill by Miss Lauryn Hill. This took me around 6 hours and 10 minutes to edit. And this is the video that I was going to do last month, and then I scrapped it because I wanted to do Fetch the Bolt Cutters instead, because it was the anniversary of the album and everything. And I was like, you know, I will do this video next month. And so that is what I did. And then I was watching the video back before I put it public, and I saw that I messed up the text. So then I had to go back and edit it again, and then my 6th edit is the one that went out to you guys. But I'm happy with that video. Glad to finally do a video on Miss Lauryn Hill, a special video for the channel. I really like how the thumbnail turned out, and it's interesting because her birthday's in May, so my timing was really good with that as well. Next video I did was me reacting to Harry's House by Harry Styles. This took me around 4 hours and 10 minutes to edit. This was a fun video to do. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I changed the thumbnail in this video so many different times because I wanted to see how it would perform in the algorithm if I kept doing it. Like, I think I changed it one time and it performed better, so I kind of just kept messing around with it. Also, all these pictures were coming out from photo shoots that he did that I really liked, so I was like, let me keep changing it, like, let me find one. And then I think I changed it for the last time a few weeks ago, and I don't plan on changing it again. But yeah, that is like the most I've ever changed the thumbnail on a video. Like, I change it multiple times a day. I can't even keep track with how many times I change it. And my brain felt like an air fryer whenever I was working on this video. So let me explain. Basically, like, the night before the album came out, I just could not go to sleep. Like, it was really horrible, and I think I only slept like 4 hours, which is not good. And I'm always very strict on my sleep. I always make sure that I get at least 8 hours, just because, like, I know that I'm basically useless without any sleep. Like, my brain doesn't function correctly. Like, my cognition is just so thrown off. I'm just irritable. I tend to make more mistakes whenever I'm exhausted, and so I do take that seriously. And so I couldn't fall asleep the night before. So yeah, it was just like really exhausting to try to get this video out, and it felt like my body was gonna shut down on me doing this video, but I finally got it finished, so I'm really thankful for that. After I got the video out, I couldn't really sleep that much because I wanted to see how it was performing and everything, and I couldn't really sleep for like a day or two after that. And then finally I was able to eventually catch up on my sleep, and so that was good. Not the biggest fan of the shirt that I wore in that video. It was okay. I had this other shirt that I was gonna wear that I really liked, but like it just didn't work for the video. Like, it was too hot. I don't like to sweat recording my videos because that just makes me miserable. Like, it just takes away from what I'm supposed to be focusing on. And so yeah, I had to scrap it and I had to do a different shirt. But I overall had a really fun time with the album, and it was just a really interesting experience. Like, the first big release of the year for me personally, so very excited to do that video. Glad how it turned out in the end. Next video that I did was on this channel. It was the Harry's House Yellow and Orange vinyl unboxing, my pop-up shop experience, and the haul. It took me around 1 hour and 37 minutes to edit. I should have included LA in the title because I was wondering why it wasn't getting as much traction as I thought that it was going to. Once I edited the title, got a little bit more traction. I wonder what would have happened if I would have done that early on, but it is what it is. It still did decently as well. This was a pretty easy video for me to put together. My mom had some clips, and I just kind of threw together the ones that I liked the most. Glad that my yellow vinyl came in on time just so I could have everything together in one concise video, and that I didn't have to go back and do a completely separate video to that. I really liked how everything tied together. I'm thankful to go to the pop-up shop at all because I wasn't expecting everything to work out the way that it did. I thought I was only going to do an unboxing on the yellow vinyl, but I had so much more to contribute at the end of it, so it was a really cool video to do. I'm happy with how it turned out generally. This is from his pop-up shop. I'm really glad I was able to go and get it because he put it on his website and then it sold out really quickly, so I'm glad I got to have it. A lot of people were like, oh, like, why did I go out to get all this stuff if he was just going to put it on site? But I kind of anticipated he might do that, and maybe he'll bring it back again. I'm not really sure because he did say limited edition, so we will see what happens there. But it was really nice just to be able to have it in that moment, and it sold out so quickly, so if I didn't go, I was not going to be able to get it anyway, so I'm very thankful for that situation. Next video that I did was me ranking the songs on Mariah Carey's The Rarities album. I just did this because I thought it would be fun to do. I basically already ranked all of her studio albums, and I thought people might want to hear my takes on this album, so I was like, might as well do it, something interesting to do. And I did 2 takes for this video. Majority of it is the second take. I used one part from the first take, and then I remember I like fully did the video, and then I changed my mind on where I wanted one specific song to go, so then I went back and I flipped it over a little bit, and yeah, the video did decently, so I'm happy with that. Something that I wanted to add is, like I said, I did have a sunburn after I went to the Harry Styles pop-up shop. I thought that I would get it immediately after it happened, but it just didn't, so I had to learn how to cope with it. My skin was peeling, a whole thing, but I'm just glad that that is over with because that was not fun. Next video that I did was my reaction to the Earth, Wind & Fire album Raised. It took me around 3 hours and 18 minutes to edit, and my 7th edit made the cut on this one. And this was such a frustrating video to do and everything because my Wi-Fi went out. And so basically I had to use like my data, and I had to use a hotspot to upload the video. And like I said, 7 different times I had to upload this video. At first it didn't do the best in terms of views. As time has gone on, the views have have stacked up a little bit more. So I'm definitely thankful for that. A lot of my videos tend to do that. Some videos that perform really poorly and they kind of just stay that way and everything, and people aren't drawn to that video. It is what it is. Some videos I post them, they're hits, and also some videos I post them and then it's like they do really badly and then they do really great. Or some videos they do like decently and then they soar. So it just really depends on the kind of video that you post. I'm happy with how that video came out. I was like, it's time to do another video on Earth, Wind, and Fire. Really enjoyed that album. And then this is something I want to talk about that happened last month. So I mentioned in my pinned comment like something happened with my Mariah glitter video. And basically the way to explain this is whenever I post the majority of my videos, I post them at 10 a.m. Like that's just when I like to post them. My philosophy has always been the earlier that I post it, like people know that it's out and they can watch it and they can enjoy it. And also like if I post and they're busy at the time, it gives them something to look forward to, right? And so I do that for the majority of my videos, not all because surprise releases and stuff like that, but for a lot of the videos I do it that way. And so for my Mariah videos, they've always been posted at the exact same time. Basically what happens is I schedule my videos to upload in YouTube Studio. So basically you go in, you say, I want this video to come out this day and this time, right? But it automatically always does it for the next day. So let's say I have a video I want to post today, for example. I go and I schedule it. It's automatically going to say the next day. And then I have to change it back to whenever I actually wanted to post. So basically I forgot to do that. And that's why it wasn't out, because I woke up and I was like, why isn't the video on? And I'm like, oh, I forgot to do it this way. So then I just posted it as soon as I could. And yeah, that kind of bothered me because I like to have my videos out at a specific time. And I'm sure that kind of threw a few people off, understandably. But I mean, it still did decently in the views. Apparently YouTube says like in the long haul, it doesn't really necessarily matter whenever you do post your video. And I think that it makes sense. Like the people who want to watch it are going to go support it. So that's definitely something that I wanted to state. And I thought that I would come back and kind of like explain it more. Because I basically explained it in the pinned comment, but I wanted to have like an explanation as to like how I could have messed it up. And it is what it is. It's not that big of a deal. Something else I wanted to talk about is I tried to talk slower for one of my videos, but I couldn't do it. And someone commented this on one of my other videos and they said, oh, if you talk slower, I think that you would have more subscribers. And so I'm kind of consciously trying to make the effort to talk slower. I don't really think that it's working. Like I really have tried for like my past few videos that I've been doing to talk slower. And I don't know why I can't really. I think I'm kind of just trying to keep up with the speed that my mind is going. And I'm afraid if I don't get to what I'm thinking of in my mind, I'm going to completely forget about it. So I think that's one of the reasons why I talk so fast. Like I said before, it's stream of consciousness and everything. But I look back on my videos and I'm like, yeah, I do talk fast. I have acknowledged it. I'm really going to try. That's what I can say. I'm going to try to talk slower. I'm going to just try to be me. If the words come out slower, they come out slower. If they come out faster, they come out faster. But I want people to be able to enjoy the videos and everything. That's definitely important to me. But it just happens that way. I don't know what to say other than that, but definitely did want to state that I have been trying to make the effort. Like I said, I don't really think it's been working that much, but it is what it is. Next thing that I wanted to talk about is me wanting to redo old videos. I've done this multiple times over and I might keep doing it for some videos. Like I redid the Taylor Swift folklore thing, redid the Evermore thing pretty much, redid ranking Fiona Apple's albums. And it's just because like whenever I do my videos, as I said before, I'm giving you the best version of me that I have at the time. Like I look back at my past videos, I don't necessarily like a lot of them as much, but then I have to remember like I really gave the best that I could in terms of researching, in terms of trying to state my feelings as clearly on the record as possible and my enjoyment and all that. And now it's definitely gotten to the point where I'm able to articulate myself a lot better and just really get into the details more, and I'm just more engaged in the videos and I try not to look down at my phone as much. And I think that makes a big difference. Definitely have found myself wanting to redo a lot of past videos, but I also think that just shows my growth as a person and as a creator. Often I'm really in love with what I'm doing at the moment. Like I really love the videos that I've been doing recently. I can look back at past stuff and be like, oh, it wasn't that good, but that's just because there's been growth there, there's been change there. And so that's kind of like how I feel on stuff, and I feel like that's going to continue happening as I progress, as I learn more, and as I just show different parts of myself in my videos. And I just think that that's natural. A lot of other people feel the same way as well, and so that's definitely something that I want to say. But in a year from now, I don't know how much my approach is going to change, how much I'm going to grow, things like that. Like I said, I really try to give everything that I can in my videos. I'm trying to engage, I'm trying to be more present, and I think that that's paying off. But that's definitely something that I wanted to say. Part of the reason why I make so many videos, just because I feel like my quality has gotten better. I want to give you guys more stuff to enjoy and everything. I want to build up my catalog in terms of how many videos that I have out there. There's so many different moods that you can be in whenever you're listening to music. There's so many different albums I want to cover. Like there's many reasons why I make so many different videos. Also because I love making videos so much. Like I would not go in as hard as I do. I would not stay up so late editing my videos and putting in so much work to make videos if I didn't really love doing it, because I don't make any money off of my videos. videos. I just do this because I enjoy it. I enjoy interacting with everyone in the comments and seeing the engagement and stuff, and it's just something fun for me to do to get my thoughts out there on music. And so that's like part of the reason why I make so many videos now. And like I said, this 2 videos a week thing, we're gonna see how long that happens. I'm gonna try to finish out this year, and then next year I might switch it up. Something else I want to talk about is I don't say what I'm working on because I change my mind all the time. Like I have stuff, I'm like, oh, I want to do this video, and then something pops up and I have to move the video, or I want to do a video but I'm like, I just need more time to write everything out, to really flesh out my thoughts, so I'm just going to wait another week or 2 weeks. So like I kind of don't share what I'm going to do a lot because I just change my mind. I don't want to get people excited for something and then it not coming to fruition. Kind of ties into the fact that I kind of just like to post my videos and go. Occasionally I will say like, hey, a video is coming out tomorrow if I feel like it's been a bit since my last upload, and you guys might be wondering like where I've been, like when's the next video coming. Like sometimes I might do that, or if I'm posting at a different time, like for the Brandy video that I did, because I had that out at 2:22 p.m. right? Like I said, I post a lot of my videos at the same time. There's kind of an expectation there for a lot of the time for them to be out at that time. So I wanted to tell you guys so you guys would know, oh, this video is going to be out a little bit different, and prepare accordingly. So it's kind of like stuff like that I will share a little bit into my process there, but I don't like to share everything. And it's also like I don't want to tease my videos like, oh, this video is coming, because at a certain point it gets kind of annoying. It's just like post the video and go, you know? That's kind of like how I feel about it. I know that everyone is different and it really depends on video to video, but I kind of just like to post my thing and go and kind of see how you guys feel about it. Sometimes I do it for fun, just to hype you guys up for the video and just because I want to, but I make it a rule not to do it for every single video that I do, just because that's how I personally feel about it. Something that I also wanted to say is that if I tease a video and I tell you guys, oh, it's coming out tomorrow at this time, I do everything I can in my power to have it out at that time, because I don't want to get you guys excited for something and then let you guys down. So that's very important to me. I don't like to make promises that I cannot keep, and so that's why I rarely do say, oh, I'm gonna have this video out. And I always say things with the best intention, so sometimes I make a video and like, oh, I hope I get to make a video on this artist soon or this album soon, and I have really good intentions with that, and oftentimes I'm able to make it happen. Sometimes it doesn't happen for like whatever reason it is. Maybe there's something I'm more focused on at the moment and everything. But yeah, in terms of saying like, oh, this video is gonna come out this day, this time, like I try to be very faithful to that. I'm not a person who makes promises that I can't keep, and I just definitely think that that's something important. You guys take the time to watch my videos, to support them, and that really does mean a lot to me. And so the least that I can do is be consistent and provide you with the best content that I can and just really pour my heart into it. Next thing that I wanted to talk about is I stopped using my community tab to promote my new videos just because I felt like it was getting redundant. Whenever I have videos from creators that I really want to see, I always just check my subscription tab or I go to their channel directly, and it just felt like it was just getting too clogged up. Like I just felt like it was unnecessary, so that's why I stopped using it to promote my new videos and everything. Also, I just used it more so, like I said, sometimes I talk about I have a video coming the next day, or like a change with the video, or like a different time. Sometimes I use it for that, but I'm trying to use it to engage with you guys more, ask you guys for video ideas, and just like questions about music in general, and I think that it's been fun to do that. And so I just definitely think that this change was the right decision to make. I will say something that I wanted to clarify in terms of like the recommendations that you give me. I do see them, I do check them out. Sometimes I'm just not interested in them and you don't see videos on this channel. I know that you can go through the videos that I've done and be like, dang, like she just doesn't listen to my recommendations at all, like she just doesn't care about them, like she just ignores them, like why is she asking if she's not going to listen to them? I definitely do try some of them, they're just not personally for me. I'm sure that it can get frustrating with that, but it really just comes down to my personal enjoyment. Like I said, I'm not going to upload something that I'm not personally really loving, because all the time it takes me to edit and everything. I just ask for recommendations occasionally because I want to know what you guys are listening to. Is there anything that I'm personally missing out on? A lot of times I just go with what I'm feeling, but a recommendation has helped me a time or two, so I definitely want to say thank you guys for the engagement and everything on the videos. It means a lot. Last thing that I wanted to talk about today is the whole Supreme Court ruling. If you have not seen, they did overturn Roe v. Wade, and I said in my last video, I'm pretty sure that I'm very against that. I'm someone who is pro-abortion. I feel like any reason that you want to have an abortion, that you should be able to get that. So obviously that was incredibly upsetting to me, and I did want to state that. In my last video on my main channel, I did link some abortion resources, and I will continue to do that all throughout my videos because it's very important to me, and I definitely wanted to speak out about it. I can appreciate the people who really spoke about it, and they also provided resources and stuff like that. And it kind of bothers me how some people, they want to claim, oh, I'm so for women's rights, I'm so for blah blah blah, and then whenever it comes time to speak on women's issues, actually have an opportunity to uplift women and help them in any kind of way, then they're silent of that. Like, it really irritates me. Like, your audience is mainly women, and of course you're not going to speak on this issue, and it's just like really bothersome. So yeah, the Supreme Court, cannot stand them. As I said before, I do not like Joe Biden as a person. Like, he had the opportunity to codify Roe v. Wade and he didn't. Obama had the opportunity and he didn't. And as people saying, like, the Democratic Party is just in shambles right now. They keep letting things fall through their fingers. They have an opportunity to make change and they're not doing it, and it really bothers me. And it's just like, what are you guys even doing at this point? Like, the Republicans are getting what they want to get across. Like, they're not trying to meet Democrats in the middle. And that's where Democrats are falling short, because they keep trying to meet them in the middle. I don't know why you would keep trying to do it. No matter what you do, they're not going to be happy. They're going to try to push a certain agenda through. And this is just a scary thing to deal with, and I really feel for everyone who was affected by the situation, and so I definitely wanted to have my thoughts out there to you. And something I feel very strongly about, like I said, I don't talk about politics a whole lot, but this is definitely something that's important to me. Yes, we already saw it coming, but the fact that it happened is incredibly upsetting. And people said this is happening next with like gay rights and stuff like that, and just like other things, and it's just like we can't keep going backwards as a society, and I just hate what is going on there, and it just really does not sit right with me, and it just is disgusting to me that this is how the world is going. And so I had to speak out about it once again. But I think that that's going to be it for everything that I wanted to talk about today. Let me know what you guys are thinking about these topics down below in the comments. I'd love to read them. That's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, give it a like down below. Helps me out a lot in the algorithm. I very much appreciate it. Subscribe for more videos like this. If you hit the bell, you get notified every time I post a video, so you do not miss when a new video comes out. The first link down below in the description is going to be my main channel. If you want to see more of me, hit me up on there. I'm also going to have my Twitter, my Instagram, my Spotify. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.